Lee Hogan here, VIP boxing down at Sean O'Hagan's gym in I always get it wrong. Garforth.
Or if you live in Garforth, it's Garforth.
Garforth.
It's one of the more affluent areas of Leeds.
It is. It's a nice little area, this, isn't it?
It's a nice area. It is a nice area. Yeah.
Are you loading the tone though?
Yeah, we're loading it somewhere we can. You know what I mean? Bring them into the real world. But no, they're all absolutely brilliant up here. All people are great and everything.
A nice busy gym for you, mate, and looks like everyone's got fight dates.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny old game, isn't it, boxing? 1 minute you don't know, your future's kind of uncertain, if you like. And then all of a sudden, dates announced, you know, all in space of 2 days. So, just waiting on Josh now, his word that he's going to be having another go. So,
when do you think that might be?
We think possibly June.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're kind of preparing for, you know.
Will that be at the arena?
I would think so. I would think so. It makes sense. I mean, I haven't heard anything concrete yet, but I think the arena would make sense. So we'll see. Just waiting on news. And before we start,
his hair transplant might work by then.
His hair transplant, he might look like one at BG's getting in the ring then, might
I won't recognise anyone in here.
We might have to tie it up, put it in a ponytail or something.
I don't recognise you because you're wasting away. Your Josh might have a load of hair. Maxi might even have a load more hair. So
yeah, well, I think they got a 2 for 1, didn't they? You know, like when you join a new, like if you join Octopus from British Gas and your mate gets a £25 voucher, I think that's what they've done, like.
How did you enjoy your trip to Monaco then, just for end of last year?
You know what, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Really enjoyed it. It's one of the nicest places I've been. It was relaxed, it was put together well, the place itself fantastic.
And a fantastic performance by Maxi.
And an absolutely brilliant performance by Maxi, yeah, that was.
Is he rolling back the years?
He's rolling back the years, as Mick Hucknall says, yeah. No, he is, he might look like Mick Hucknall when his hair transplant takes as well, might he? He looks like he's on his head turf now, it looks great.
Any news on Maxi, anything?
He's just mentioned something to me tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say out or not, but...
Well, don't say anything, we'll get it confirmed later.
Yeah, we'll get it confirmed and do another one.
But it does sound like a good fight.
Yeah, very good fight. Like I say, it'd be unfair not promoter for me to say out because it's not confirmed. It's not confirmed, so we'll leave that one. But before we start,
go on.
Massive congratulations from myself and all the rest of the lads. So Hashim Rehman, who's just celebrating birth of his first little baby girl, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I was wondering why he's not in here, because everyone else was in the gym, so, and he's coming off a fantastic win end of last year, wasn't it?
Do you know what, yeah, I mean, kid's coming on a treat. I think he first came here, and he was alright, he was good. We've not changed anything really with him. I think what he's done mixing in company is he's starting to believe in himself a bit now.
But you know, the good thing about coming to a place like this is obviously, you know, two world champions or former world champions and the other quality of lads, but also it can be a disadvantage because you can have that imposter syndrome because you feel like, do I deserve to be here? But I think that win made him feel like he deserves to be here, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, let's not forget, I mean, he's had 3 fights with us, he's won 2 of them. First one that he had with us, and all hard fights really. I mean, it was that Haworth kid, wasn't it?
Central Area champion now.
Yeah, I mean, he went from fighting journeymen and into that fight with Haworth, and it's a very good fight. I like him. I do like that kid. And I think at the time it could have been a little step too far for Ash.
I think the preparation with moving jobs, moving gyms, everything like that wasn't perfect for him.
No, it wasn't.
But saying that, you know, you step through the ropes and.
But he found out where he was at, and it's one of them where, you know, from going through journeyman routine into a proper fight, you could see it were visibly, whoa, where am I now? I'm in a proper fight here. But give him his due, he came back in, he's dug in, he's been grinding away, and then his next performance.
Was it Hugh? What was it? Hugh Wilson, was it? What was his name now?
The one after that. Was...
No, he beat the Lopez, didn't he?
Yeah.
But then the guy who was 9-0, who he took on last night.
Hughie Wilson.
Hughie Wilson, that was right, yeah.
Yeah, that was it was a good fight. That I
Yeah.
mean, they're both on canvas.
That's good, that, isn't it?
Once each, but handled it really well. I mean, Wilson hit him with a shot that I felt it, you know, and I thought, that's it, it's over. Anyway, we're looking at the corner as it went down, kind of rolled back up, took an in. He was looking over it as and he winked, did Ash. You know, I mean, he said he was off balance, which, you know, he may well have been, but I felt the shot, to be honest. Anyway, he got back up, came back to the corner.
And put him over, did he?
And put him over. Yeah. Or he put him over. No, I think Ash put him over first.
Did he?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a right fight. Right fight.
Good, well that's what you need.
But he deservedly won it.
So now he's sitting pretty for a good year this year. And maybe
he deservedly won it. I mean, unfortunately, there's no footage of that fight anywhere. There's a little bit of footage of Ash being knocked down, but there's no footage of Hughie Wilson being knocked down, who's now claiming that he won't fight. But listen, they know, don't they?
Maybe they can put it on and maybe a little title on the line next time.
You know what? It'd be a fantastic fight, that.
Yeah.
Just for boxing,
yeah,
really. Just for boxing.
This is what I'm down here for, because we've got Jake Goodwin, your latest recruit, but he's been with you, what, close to 15, 16 months now?
Yeah, something like that. He's not had Robert Green, has he, you know, in his previous...
I think weight was a big issue. I think he was trying to make light middleweight, and he's in fine shape of a man, but just it's all right making the weight. It's performing at it, isn't it?
It's performing at that weight as well. And I mean, to be honest, until he gets in there up night, we won't know. He's doing everything right in here.
He looks very good.
He's showing some real promise in here, but you and I know that can all change when the climate rings. Hopefully it doesn't. And
But this is another one of those fights you were just talking about. It happened on our show when Ash took on Joe Howard. This is another VIP versus VIP. Jake's slightly more experienced, slightly older, but Owen Anderton's a good kid, you know.
Oh, he's a good kid.
Wrong.
I actually like the kid, mate.
Yeah, he's a
nice
I
don't like the kid, you know. I've watched him. I've seen him before, and he's a good lad. Yeah, you can't really can't knock him in anyway.
Well, you know what you can't knock is the fact they both took the fight when it was proposed to.
Exactly.
They both just said straight away. No arguing, no ifs or buts. Come on, let's get on with it. This is what boxing's about.
We took it very, very serious. I mean, he's with Lee Blundell. A good fighter himself, wasn't he? Lee?
Very good.
And a good trainer. So I'm looking forward to a good night, to be honest. Yeah.
And hopefully, in 2 weeks' time, because is this going to be on the same time then as Jake's with Willie? Because
no, I think Jake's is on 8th, isn't it? And Will's on 14th.
Oh right, so it's a week afterwards.
It's a week after, yeah. So I get to spend a weekend in Liverpool as well.
Hopefully, it's going to be third time lucky for him.
Yeah, I'm going to go
challenging for it again.
I'm going to go shopping down docks. Yeah. So, yeah, it's exciting times coming up. Exciting times, and you know, I think boxing lately has taken a change for better.
I do.
Because you've seen a lot of these fights now, 50-50s. People are not scared of protecting winning records anymore. You know, because opportunities have not been as kind of abundant, what they're doing is, I'll fight him. It's like Jake and Owen. Yeah, I'll fight him.
Yeah.
I'll fight him, yeah. Not a problem. And it just makes it again now, I mean, you know, if you have a little bit of a bad run with boxing, your head can soon go down as a fighter, as a trainer. But it's like, this is how it's meant to be. This is how it's meant to be.
I think this is a perfect place for any fighter to come and just realise what real boxing's about. You know, Maxi, I think he 7 losses on his record. And as we just said before, he's turning back the father time clock, isn't he? You know, that was a masterful performance against a kid that's been looked very, very dangerous.
Absolutely, and you know what it is with Maxi, he's getting better and better. Every time he boxes, they all think he's knocking on a bit now, maybe age will get him. No, it won't, because he does everything that way, the right amount of rest, right amount of recovery. He trains, and when he trains hard. don't grind himself down in training. What he'll do is he'll do enough, but he'll make sure his recovery is very, very good. I think over years, you know, as a trainer, as a fighter, you kind of you gain that bit of experience, don't you? How much is so much. And
how have you found? Do you remember when we first started coming down and seeing you? When we used to go down to Jimmy Harrington's, and then me, you and Josh went down to see Billy Graham, and it was just before he fought Lee Selby and become world champion. And you know, this as a boxing coach, it was all new to you. You know, everyone had been telling for years, Josh that your dad can't take you to this level, can't do that. Now you're an established. You know, you're the man who's up there, who other coaches are looking up to now. But are you still learning?
Yeah, of course we are. We're learning every day. If you'd have asked me this, excuse me, 15 years ago, I'd have thought I'd known everything. When in fact, looking back now, I knew very little. I wish I could have. I hope I've got 15 years in front of me again and do it all again, because I'll do things differently, change things around that need changing. But like the prayer said, I have the knowledge to know that there's things I can't change, you know. So, yeah, I mean, we're learning all the time, and I remember, you know, when I was bringing him through and that, all right, yeah, well, we've done well to get here, but this next one, I don't know. I think you've got to believe in yourself, but also don't be scared of seeking advice.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. I was never scared of seeking advice. I mean, Billy Graham were an absolute godsend. Believe it or not, I learned a lot of Joe Gallagher.
Yeah.
I speak to Joe,
you know. News about Joe, isn't it? Got stage 4 cancer, hasn't
it? Devastating news, that, you know. I mean, hopefully, I don't know it all.
Stage 4 sounds serious, though, doesn't it?
Stage 4 is quite serious. Well, it's very serious. But you never know. Mind's a powerful thing. Modern medicines, you never know. But yeah, Joe Gallagher, throughout all the bits of success that we've had, I've been down quite a lot sparring at Joe's. I spoke to him before fights and after fights. He's always first one to pick a phone up and say, you know, he'll send me, you look at your phone when you're in dressing rooms waiting to go out for a world title fight, and it'll say, good luck, mate. Sorry. After it, if it's gone right way, it's first one to congratulate. If it's gone wrong way, it's first one to commiserate. So I've learnt a lot. I have learnt a lot from Joe, just listening to him while we've been down there sparring. He probably don't know how much his influence he's had on people. And you know, you get a lot of people, oh, Joe this, Joe that, a lot of people, he's not everyone's cup of tea. But I think if you know him, it's just his character. There's no nastiness, there's no malice, it's just his character. He does what he believes in, and there's nobody put grafting like Joe Gallagher, I've seen it. But yeah, I've learnt a lot of Joe Gallagher, I've learnt a lot of Billy Graham.
Yeah.
I went down there.
I used to love those sessions when we used to go down there. I mean, I think we was there about 3 hours, and it was just, and one of my favourite moments, perhaps of all time, was when you were chatting to Billy. You and Josh were sat on one side, and Billy's telling you, and he was asking him, well, how have you prepared for the fight?
I know what you were going to say. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. And he just smiled and he went,
yeah, that's what I do.
That's it.
And you went, and I think that was the final piece of the jigsaw for me.
That was a turning point.
Yeah.
That was turning. I needed somebody like Billy to say, yeah, you're doing it right. You're doing it right. You know, that, and I did. I needed that as a trainer, as a coach, because I ain't got anybody I can go and say, you know, it's for a fighter. They'll believe it coach, they'll believe it trainer, and they can go to him and refer to him. But I think if you're that, you've got to seek advice of people that...
Yeah. You've been there and done it. And, you know...
I haven't,
and you know... World title fights had Billy been involved in, in that peak? It must be closer. Title fights must be over 100.
Oh, must have been. Must have been, I mean... But unbelievable. Yes, so it's people like that, Billy Graham, Joe Gallagher. I think they're responsible for more successes than they know, to be honest. You know?
And how is this working now? Because Sam's down here. I see Sam all the time down here with you. And I love James. You know, it seems a real little tight, close community you've got here with everyone.
Yeah, it's come together now. I mean, Sam's great fight night. Absolutely fantastic. But she kind of brings another dimension. She's got a calmness about her, Sam, that's very, very good for fighters on fight night. And she travels with us as well. She's been all over with us.
Yeah.
But But yeah, she brings another dimension. Plus, you see, you can't trust me and Reece Moles to travel to the other side of the world if there's nobody looking after us, because we just won't get there, you know what I mean?
And Reece back to winning ways. He's had 2 fights in the bag, and
yes.
Can that be mentioned? He's got a good fight lined up. Is that been announced yet?
I think there's a press conference in, what day are we on now? Wednesday. I'm sure there's a press conference on Thursday or something.
Well, that's intriguing because he's a former VIP fighter. I won't mention his name, to get people enticed a little bit. But it's a good fight, that, and a nice little title on the line for both of them.
Cracking fight. But getting back to the gym, it's a little tight-knit thing. We've got Jimmy Hughes. I mean, my hands have been suffering for a long time with my wrists and my joints and everything. And it's not that good, really, you know. But Jimmy comes in. I can do a little bit. I can do a little bit of pads, a little bit of technical stuff, but not so heavy. But you see Jimmy out there, and he absolutely beats them.
He's an animal, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I wish he was young enough to fight like, you know what I mean? 'Cause try and get him carded up and get him
on
out.
Misfits.
Misfits.
Over 50s.
Yeah, get him on there.
I'd put him against most people, wouldn't you?
It's a nice tight knit gym. We've got an amateur club as well that runs from here now.
What's that? Is that Leeds?
That's United Amateur Boxing.
United, yeah.
Yeah, so that's Jimmy's son, Charlie. That runs it. I don't have anything at all to do with that. So it's Charlie, Jimmy's son, runs that.
Yeah.
And having a lot of success at the moment.
Good.
A lot of success.
And Sam's got her own place. She's got Alliance, hasn't she?
Sam's got Alliance. She's just moved gyms. And it's going from strength to strength, really. It's going really good.
So there's a big future after Maxi and Josh hang up the gloves.
Well, I'd like to think so. I mean, it's one of them. I don't know how long I'll go on for. I keep saying, I've had enough, and then when it gets to training day, I think, I'm back in gym. You know what I mean? And when I'm here, I enjoy it. I love it. Yeah. I'll never retire. I couldn't sit at home knowing all these are in here training, and you know what I mean? So it's it's looking good. It's looking very good at the moment. But I think the thing that's kind of rejuvenated is the way boxing's turned at the minute. These 50-50s, I love them. Mm-hmm. I love them.
Well, that's what I liked about this. You've said yes. With the Hash fight, you said yes. You know, you're not turning down fights. And too many coaches, because the fighters are never going to turn down a fight if it was offered to them.
No.
You've got to offer it to the coach first, and then he'll say to the fighter. But you're the guy who advises them and says, I think this is a good one for you.
Yeah. It's one of them where it's a 50-50. It'll go one way or other. We don't know which way, do we, with some referees and scoring, you know. It's one of them,
forget that. We don't know whether it scored fairly or not. We don't know how it's going to go with Owen Anderton and Jake, you know. They're both good kids.
Both VIP fighters. And to be honest, these shows, I mean, there's been one or two central areas, I won't mention no names, where scoring's been absolutely ridiculous. Even our representatives from Border Control were sat shaking his head, put his head in his hands and was shaking his head. You know, I just walked over to him and I said, you saw that? You sat and watched that? And he went, I know, Sean. I said, well, no more to be said, you know what I mean? I think sometimes referees can take it personal if you disagree with them. Classic example, I keep going back to it with Josh, where he stood up, walked back to the corner, couldn't hear a thing with noise in there, turned round and he's waved it off. It happened twice last week on TV, on DAZN, didn't it? Where a fighter got up, Robbie Davis Jr. got up off the floor, turned round, walked back, turned round, they let him go. You know what I mean?
I thought it was shocking, mate. I was shocking, and it was the best I've seen Josh. Yeah. It was phenomenal.
And I mean, I was quite vocal there about Michael Alexander, but I said what I thought. It's not a personal thing. No. Don't dislike him. He's very experienced, good referee, good judge.
Sometimes everyone makes mistakes.
But everybody can make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
think that was one.
So I think that was one of them. But like, again, it's not a personal thing. He's there, he's got the same interest in boxing as I have, you know what I mean, and everybody else that's turned up to watch. It just don't mean we've got to kind of agree with them, does it? You know? But anyway, I hope all that's behind us now, and what we've got to do is just make me work hard and put it beyond judges, put it beyond referees, and that's what we're doing this time. Well, I mean, Will Allison's in his, I know he's not a VIP fighter, but he's in his 8th fight and it's his third 10-rounder.
Fight, yeah.
Third title fight,
I love
third
that.
10-rounder.
And you know what I like about this? You know, when he first took the opportunity, he wasn't really a welterweight. He was a super lightweight, and he stepped up. I'm looking at him now. He's a genuine welterweight now, isn't he?
He's matured, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a late maturer as well, late developer.
Gone grey overnight now, hasn't he? Or grey or blonde, whatever.
He's turned his son from one at BG's into M&M, hasn't he?
yeah,
Do you know what it was? I honestly believe, seriously, the first fight that he had with Joe Garside were landing shots over the top and they weren't particularly hard. But Will's trying to get out of the way, so he's throwing his head back. His hair's flying up.
Yeah.
So I said to him, you need to get that hair done before next fight. Watch this. And we've watched it. And he went, yeah, I will. Then he walks in looking like Slim Shady for the next fight. I don't know what happened with scoring in
the second one you believe was convincing.
That were convincing Will. He should already be area champion. But what it's done with him, it's put a bit of spite into him now. So maybe scoring and decisions kind of spurred him on a bit more.
Well, I think he's going into this fight as a slight favourite because he's got the experience of those two draws for the title behind him, where Brian Collins, who's a former VIP fighter as well, hasn't got that. So, you know, we know it can be daunting going past. I don't think he's ever gone past 6 rounds. So realistically, you know, those last 4 rounds, those championship rounds, are scary, aren't they, when you've never been there?
Well, I don't think he'll go past 6 rounds this one, to be honest, but no. No, I shouldn't have said that, really. I don't mean that. We're just having a bit of crack, if you're watching. If you're listening, it's just a bit of fun. No, I've got all respect in world for him and his training team. He's there on merit. And I think it's just a good fight. I see it as a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
We've not prepared like we're any better than anyone else because we've got these rounds under. I think what we've done is we've got that bit of drive now where we do want to put it beyond judging and referee. I do think though, while we're here, I think it's time we had judges rather than referees scoring the central area.
There's been talk about that. A lot of people have been saying that.
I do honestly believe that.
With a fight with English Eliminator and Commonwealth Eliminator between Dom Hunt and James Moorcroft, which ended up in a draw, and they both believed they won the fight, and they felt like it was unfair because it was Steve Gray, and they're not arguing about Steve Gray, fantastic referee.
Really
but what they're saying is it's a hard job to look after the interests of the boxers, which is what the referee's job is to do, and score it.
And to be honest, I believe that's what happened with Michael last time. It's a job that I couldn't do. I couldn't do it.
Well, you're always going to upset someone, aren't you?
Of course you are, but it's a job that I couldn't do. I don't think I would be capable of doing it.
No.
You know what I mean? I really don't, because they've got to be seen to be kind of neutral. Like you say, they're looking after interests at fighter, and while they're looking after interests at fighter, they're scoring it. So it's an harder job than most people. It's all right on the outside saying, yeah, it were this, it were that, and, you know, giving their own opinions, but it is a very, very difficult job. I do think, though, that it's time for two big changes, and I think one of them being the introduction of judges to take that pressure away from referee.
What's the other one?
And I also think that there should be some sort of panel for referees, because we've seen again, not only small hall shows, but we see it all the way through. Some of them scores are absolutely ridiculous. You know, we saw it with Bivol and Beterbiev again, didn't we? You know, we've been seeing it.
Well, yeah, I think the fight was brilliant, and this time I felt the right man won. I thought Beterbiev won the first one, but Bivol definitely won the last one. But how did he turn that around? Because that was a one-sided fight early on in it. The first 4 or 5 rounds,
I thought it broke his hand.
Beterbiev was brilliant.
I thought it broke his hand, and I think what he was just holding back for, you know, that final push. If he did break his hand, he's an hard man, isn't it, to carry on and to rally like that.
The way he puts his combinations together and his movement,
superb. But scoring, you know,
yeah, because one of them had it really wide, and
scoring,
whoever you had winning that fight, and there was an argument that Beterbiev could have won that fight from that early lead, but realistically, I feel, you know,
but I do
one round either way.
I do think it's time for some sort of panel, because if you're doing a job, you know, you've got to be capable of doing that job. You really do. I mean, if you were a surgeon and you got it wrong, you'd be fucked, wouldn't you? You're not allowed to get it wrong.
I think you're required, aren't you, mate?
They all have to answer to somebody, don't they? But yeah, I think what we need is maybe a little bit of fresh input.
Yeah.
Let some of these fellas offer from lower league, if you like, step up a little bit, and you know, a few fresh faces, and because it must get monotonous, earning all that money week in, week out, travelling all over, living in finest hotels.
Like you say, it is a very, very tough job.
It's an hard job. It's an hard job, and I'm not going to start slagging them now because they do turn up, and without them, then we won't be able to operate, would we?
No.
You know, I mean, we just lose fortunes and change livelihoods, don't we, with bad decisions and mistakes. But no, I hope we get. You know, I hope along with this resurgence in boxing that we're going to start seeing some sensible scoring, sensible refereeing and sensible judging.
Good. Right. Well, it's always a pleasure to chat to you, Sean. I'm going to catch up with Jake now, and hopefully I'll be bumping into you over the next few weeks at the shows. It looks like you've got a very, very busy gym over the next few weeks.
Yeah, we're going to be busy. I'm going to earn my money this year.
See you later, Sean.
Cheers,
bye,
mate. Thank you.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.